Shadow Generations is a great game, and with its first post-launch DLC now available, does Sonic Team continue to deliver the quality that the base game set? Yes and no. The Sonic 3 Movie Pack allows players to use a custom movie shadow skin, complete with voice lines provided by Keanu Reeves, in a brand new 3D level set in Tokyo based on the events of the film. Folks who bought the digital deluxe edition of the base game or shelled out the $12 separately got a taste for custom skins with the beta shadow design from Sonic Adventure 2's development, called Tyrios. It set the bar pretty low, with goofy-looking quills and using the same animations as Shadow despite not being equipped with the same hover shoes he is. Though, I had faith in this new costume since it's still Shadow and I like the movie design. Thankfully, it was put in the right place, for the most part. Other than the sort of ashiness that's on his fur, it looks good. I'm a big fan of the blue jet flares, as well as the spin effect. It's easily my favorite official one in the series, a perfect mix of texture and glow to make it stand out. The one glaring issue is that you can only play as Movie Shadow in the DLC, not the base game. I've seen footage that shows that it's not just a simple model swap, as Movie Shadow's face would have to be completely reanimated for the in-level cutscenes, which means more money and time spent on it, of course. But it's still pretty lame when I know for a fact that there will be an eventual mod for PC players to be able to use it thanks to the always incredible Sonic modding community, which is just a shame for everyone else. As for Keanu, his performance is unsurprisingly about as phoned in as you can get. I really tried to find some lines I did like, and found that his
"Freeze"
and
"This is the ultimate power"
were pretty good. But in every other line, he either sounds bored, disinterested, or whatever this is.
It looks like how Maria described the Earth.
Chaos Control, the one line that's required by law for Shadow's voice actor to ham it up, sounds like this.
Chaos Control.
I really hope that this isn't a reflection of how he sounds in the movie. I know he's a more laid-back and reserved guy, but that doesn't mean he still can't give life and energy to the performance. Just look at David Humphrey.
Chaos Control.
But what about the new level? Well, let's talk style first. It looks great, on par with the base game. Shadow pops out no matter where you are, and there's a decent amount of color variation between the darker streets and lighter building sections. The two in-level cutscenes are both fun as well, an enjoyable watch the first time through. Good on Shadow for letting that gun soldier go. I was a bit worried for him considering how his other encounters in the game have gone. Also, the results screen? That was a super cool surprise with how dynamic it was. There are even scenes for each rank, just like the base game. Don't get me wrong, the stock effects are still sick, but this in particular really caught my attention. Now, let's talk about substance. At the time of writing this, I've given the stage about 10 full playthroughs, and have found that it has the same strengths and weaknesses as the base game's 3D acts. To compare it to those stages, Tokyo has a similar level design philosophy to Space Colony Arc and Rail Canyon, and lacks the openness of Kingdom Valley or Chaos Island. So, right in line with Sunset Heights. It's very tunnel-like, with the multiple pathways being short detours that at most send you down a different tunnel for a second before being shoved back onto the main path. But it's still fun to play despite that. The main strength, just like the base game, is that Shadow still has the same extremely active moveset minus the Doom powers. So, while the level design is not up to par with what I like from Sonic games, open areas with multiple full pathways that encourage exploration and good routing to get the best times, I don't mind it that much because a lot of my attention is placed on performing the right actions with Shadow the entire time. Not having the Doom powers does of course trim off a layer of complexity, but I understand why they weren't included. I'm also certain that I haven't found every nook and cranny of this stage, so my opinion may change as I play it more, however many more times that may be. This leads into my main problem with the stage, the mid-level cutscenes. When I did my first run-through on stream, it was just under 4 minutes long, factoring in Chaos Control time. The first cutscene with the helicopter is about 32 seconds long, and the ending cutscene is around 20. So there's almost a full minute of just watching the stage go by, making up a quarter of the first playthrough's runtime, which is okay and how most people are going to experience it. However, this game is clearly designed to be replayed a lot, and as you play the stage more and more, you get faster and faster, which means the cutscenes will take up a larger and larger portion of the runtime. The best time I've gotten using a mod that disables the timer stop is a 2:55, meaning that the cutscenes now take up almost a third of the stage's runtime. which is just too much. A nitpick here is that since one of them ends the stage, it means I have to sit through the whole thing even on a bad run before I get to retry it, since the game doesn't allow you to restart during them. While something like this only affects the 10% of players that want to replay these levels hundreds of times, I'm part of that 10%. It's not that I don't like the cutscenes, it's that I don't like watching the cutscenes every single time, which is a weakness shared with all the in-level cutscenes from the base game, though most of those are much shorter. Also, why does the warp ring in the hub world have such an awful sound? I thought a smoke detector was going off the first time I heard it. A nitpick for sure, but a baffling choice nonetheless. So, what's the verdict? Is this DLC worth playing? To me, it's an easy yes if you bought the digital deluxe version, since it comes with it for free. Standalone though, if this weren't my job, I would probably pass up on it or wait for a sale. It doesn't offer anything new gameplay-wise, and some of the weaknesses from the base game are amplified, but it also has the same strengths and is more Shadow Generations. So it's really whether or not you mind the drawbacks that the package comes with, because there is fun to be had here. Regardless of my feelings on this DLC, I am praying that we continue to get more. The Generations format is perfect for it. Oh, the challenges! I almost forgot. They're fine. I didn't find them interesting enough to play more than once, but worth the one run through at the very least. Also, the Westopolis remixes and both the stage itself and White Space are good. I wanted to test myself with this video and make it from start to finish within 24 hours of me playing the DLC for the first time. So let me know your thoughts. And, as always, huge thanks to the Stelmo crew for the support as I continue to improve my craft. It really means a lot. Thanks so much for watching, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.